The Good Life Club. I'm Conrad, and I'm going to tell you about the Good Life Club. Now, from birth, it's decided for every person whether or not you are a member of the Good Life Club or not. And the Good Life Club is made up of the people who control the wealth of the world, what they call the upper class. You know, of course, in this capitalistic society, we have the upper class and the middle class and the lower class, better known as the working class. And by and large, capitalism created the working class. Before then, of course, in the medieval times, we did have serfdom, and where the people had gotten strong enough to call themselves kings and built castles with great walls around them where they could defend themselves, and they had the serfs all around them doing all the farming and whatever, and fighting in their army whenever they wanted to go to war with another king, and so forth. And but today, we live in the capitalistic consumer society where huge corporations control everything, even our lives. So, the Good Life Club is the ones where those people belong. And there are gatekeepers to that club called systems. Those systems were created back, I don't know, maybe 2,000 so years ago. The foundation was laid by the most important thing that created capitalism was the money as debt system, where people started with gold as the most valuable thing, and then goldsmiths started providing what they called banks to protect people's gold bars, and then they created coins from those gold bars because it was easier to give people's pieces of those gold bars rather than the whole thing. They didn't want to use it all up in one transaction. Anyway, then those goldsmiths eventually became bankers, and they came up, like I said, with the debt for money system. Money as debt system that's got us all caught. And now we have the huge corporations creating things that we didn't know we need, and we keep buying. Even the lowest of us, the minimum wage workers, we keep trying to buy things we can't afford, which keeps us in a constant state of debt to the ones in the upper class. So I'm going to here explain that upper society group, the ones that are call themselves as the upper class, because class in their minds has nothing to do with a person's character. It has solely to do with how much money you have, how rich you have, not just money but wealth and the control of other things, the resources of the earth that everyone needs to live. And that's what creates the problem, because those way down in the lower classes can't make enough of their money because of the debt situation to afford those things. And that's the reason we have near starvation people, homeless people, living without proper health care. All those things are caused by the debt money system and out of control capitalism. Now, capitalism, I'm not completely condemning, because I think on the lower level, stripped clear of everything else, we need capitalism because that's basic, the best way we have of trading things we have when we want something other people have. But we've allowed capitalism to get completely out of control. Anyway, the reason I got involved in all this is because I grew up in a subsistence farming type of thing, because I was born right at the stock market crash and the beginning of the Great Depression, and so I've been around here a long time, which actually means nothing except it has given me time to study the economic system of the world. And the reason I got involved and interested in the economic systems was because when I first went into the service during the Korean War, I was assigned to a group of 13 people who were sent to a small country, and when we arrived there, the U.S. military or government, some sort, had already established a compound there that had been leased from the government of the country. Anyway, 13 people went there, 12 and myself, and we set up our operation and began doing what we were sent there to do. And in our off time, we operated around the clock, though there were only a few of us off at a time. But on our off time, we began to explore the countryside outside of our compound, and about less than a mile further inland, away from the coast. We were near the coast, our compound was, but further inland, we found a small village, and there I saw something that I hadn't never even considered. I saw complete, absolute poverty. I saw people on the brink of starvation with no safe water to drink, no sanitary conditions, only food here and there, because they had already, even though it was in a tropical area and there were things producing in the wild, I guess there were too many in the village, because they had constantly eaten all the bananas and everything else in the immediate area, even the wild pigs, and they were constantly hunting them. But they had a few wild pigs of their own, but those wild pigs were just like the people. I mean, the domestic pigs were just like the people. They were near starvation also. Anyway, I saw this extreme poverty there. I saw kids below teenagers completely naked, and teenagers, even girls 13, 14, 15 years old with only rags for clothes, and it made a terrible impression on me. And when I got out of the service and I went to college, my horizon was expanded, because since I grew up in a very rural area and had only been in the service, I didn't really know that much about the world either. So in my college, first 4 years of college, I was in the library all the time, because for some reason I was absolutely obsessed with finding out the basic causes of all that poverty that I had seen. And after I graduated first with a BS degree, because I thought I was going to go into the medical field, I went back over a period of years and got a degree in history of the Western world, where starting with the caveman and on up through the hunter-gatherers and to the Industrial Revolution, through the time of the medieval time of the kings and the serfs, all the way to modern times. So I have a good background on the economics of the Western world, and since then, using that knowledge that I gained, I have dug deep into the areas that I know, and I've found the foundation systems that control our lives. And I'm going to make a series of videos where I explain those systems to you, how they operate, when they were created, by whom they were created, and how they have such a detrimental effect on our lives today, because the systems that control us, the gatekeepers to the Good Life Club, those systems, they were created by the people who came up with them. Very intelligent, one group, I believe, of very intelligent people were more educated. They had a background and mental capacity to understand how to create new systems so that they could improve their own lives. That's the reason they created them in the beginning, was to improve their own lives. But the generations that have passed, those systems have been perfected by those people who lived during those generations between the early creation days and now. They have perfected those systems so much that they are allowing people to be in that Good Life Club and exclude most of the other people of the world. And that's the reason we see so much poverty and so forth, because it presses people down. The capitalistic system and the consumerism we have, and the money is debt system, and the system of government. By the way, why do people need governments? We only need some controlling entity for those people who don't want to abide by the normal norms of a certain society. All people don't need to be governed. I think the needs of most people are administrative in nature rather than in government. Too many laws have been passed by people who didn't understand the full situation and only were in it for self-serving special interest groups. And that's the way it is today. Anyway, I'm going to be making those videos, and please, if you will, subscribe, because I'm not interested in subscribers other than I want people who are interested in what I have to say to be able to know when I post other videos, and there's going to be a series of them. And the reason I'm doing it is because I still have hope. I believe the people in the lowest, worst situation and still alive today have hope, and I want to kindle that hope. I want people who are working day by day, spending most of their days working, I want them to begin to see that there is hope. I want people who are doing well enough that they can meet their daily needs in a comfortable manner, but really still don't have any guaranteed future if things go wrong. I also want people who have empathy for others in the upper class, and I'm sure there are many of those. I want those to figure out ways that they can join us, and let's pursue a program of hope and go ahead and get together around the world, especially in all those countries and situations. There are still people living that are not under the consumerism, the society that's ruining the climate and using up all our natural resources. There are still people living free of those, the free life. Anyway, you heard the story about hope, the little Greek girl named Pandora in Greek mythology, I believe it is. She, some things I've read said that she emptied, I believe the word is amphora, one of the clay big urns where they stored wine and even grain. They loaded on ships when they were sailing or trading with it. Anyway, for some reason, she opened the urn or the case or the box that had all the things that humanity was looking for in order to have a good life. All those things, she opened the box, and when she did, everything escaped except hope. It seems that she was able to slam that door and trap hope inside. So let's use that and thank her that she was able to do that. Let's get together and understand the problems we have and what is causing those problems, and how we can go about removing those where that all can live. Actually, I've written a little book. It's called How to Change the World So That All Can Live. And the emphasis there is on all. I want everyone, the ones that are wealthy now and the ones that are starving to death. I want everyone to be able to enjoy this beautiful world that we are born into. And all those people in poverty and so forth, they don't get an opportunity to be free of all the basic needs and the suffering, to enjoy the beautiful days as their lives go by. And so this is Conrad for now. Please subscribe so when I post another video you will know, and let's see if we can start creating a hope for the world, and let's go about changing it, like I said, so that all can live.